Hi, good morning. My name is Roland Eva, and today I'd like to talk to you about why non-customers make growth easy. So first, I'd like to ask you a question. I'd like to ask you if you know this quote by Warren Buffett. So the quote is, observe the masses and do the opposite. Now, if you're anything like me, you think, that's a great quote. That's a great soundbite. It's something that's easy to remember and carry with you. But how the hell do you apply it in real life? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about today. How to apply that to your business so that you can make growth fast and easy. So I first heard the term non-customers when I read the book Blue Ocean Shift. And the book highlights some great examples of businesses that have changed the market landscape by focusing on non-customers. So companies such as Ford Motor Company, Comic Relief, and Penguin Books. So what the hell are non-customers? So let me get right down to it. So non-customers, I've written this down so that I get it right. So non-customers are people that have a problem that you can solve, but they don't think that your product or service is right for them because of price, location, lack of knowledge, or lack of belief. So just think about that for a moment. Who are your customers? Who are the people that you are serving today? Who are the people that you are helping to, improve their lives? And are they all the same type of person? Yeah? Are they all the same type of customers that your competitors are going after? So so what do I mean by that? So let's just say you are let's just say you're a hotel or a restaurant. So you're a hotel or a restaurant in Huntingdon. Who are you trying to attract? You're trying to attract, people from, let's say 18 upwards who live in Huntingdon, or who live in Huntingdon and a 30-minute drive away. But guess what? So are all of your competitors. So what have you got? You've got a death match, a gladiatorial fight to the end, while everyone is trying to compete over the same customers. And what does that do? That creates a bloody battle, yeah? And it's the ultimate of survival of the fittest. It's the last man standing wins. Now, if you are, the biggest and the baddest warrior, i.e. you have, the best reputation, the deepest pockets, then yeah, sure, you can shout louder than your competitors, you can fight longer, you can hit harder, and you will be the last man standing. But, if you're not Goliath, if you're David, how do you win? How do you win if you can't shout louder than your competitors? How do you win if you can't punch harder than your competitors? Well, the answer is you win by doing something different. You win by focusing on non-customers. So as I said, non-customers are the people that have a problem that you can solve, but do not think that your product or service is right because of lack of knowledge or lack of belief. So let me show you some examples of this to help illustrate the point. So let's talk about Comic Relief, yeah? Because Comic Relief changed the charity industry. So we all know what Comic Relief is, but in 1984, nobody did. So what do all the charity companies do? How do they raise funds? Well, they raise funds by, having an army of people on the street to stop you in the middle of the street, or to knock on your door. So they go door to door and they give you a sob story. They give you this sob story and they say, please, can you give, £5 a month or £10 a month or £20 a month, whatever it is. And they use guilt tactics throughout the year to attract donors. And sometimes they'll do it with, attracting anybody on the street. Sometimes they'll do it by, knocking on doors of specific areas. Other times they'll do it by contacting existing donors. But what does that do? It's a bloody death match. Why? Because all the other charities are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to attract the same people. They're doing it in exactly the same way, and they're doing it all year round. So what did Comic Relief do? Comic Relief said, we're going to put on an event and we're going to make it fun. Yeah? They also said, we want to attract the people who wouldn't normally give to charity. And we're going to do that by making it fun. So they said, right, for one day, we're going to ask everyone to wear a red nose. So you wear a red nose and you do something crazy. So what does that do? That makes everyone aware of what this day is about. So even if you don't normally give to charity, you might give to charity on that particular day because it's one day of the year. And it's a bit of fun and everyone's aware of it. Everyone from school kids to CEOs. Everyone has some fun. Everyone understands what this one day is all about, and they either give to charity or they don't. What's the bottom line? Comic Relief raises more money, or certainly in 1984, they raised more money from that one day than all of the other charities combined. Wow. That's a massive bottom line difference by focusing on non-customers. By making it fun, by attracting the people that don't normally give to charity. They made it fun. They significantly changed their bottom line. They grew the market. That's the whole point. Rather than having this death match, this bloody fight to the end because people are competing over the same customers, they said, no, let's expand the market. Let's attract the people that no one else is going after. So they made growth easy. So what about Penguin Books? Penguin Books revolutionized the publishing industry. So until Penguin came along, book publishers only made hardback books, and they were expensive. And the paperbacks that existed at the time were a very limited range, and they were very, very poor quality. So hardly anybody bought them. So if you were, at a train station or in the equivalent of a W.H. Smith's, you could only buy hardback books. And they were at a price that meant that, a huge portion of the public who wanted to read books couldn't afford them. So Penguin came along and they said, right, we're going to make books 90% cheaper. Actually, I think, got that wrong. I think it was 50% cheaper than, no. They were 90% cheaper than a hardback book. And you had people like George Orwell saying, as a reader, I applaud Penguin Books and what they're doing. As an author, I think Penguin Books should be crushed. Yeah, I think Penguin Books, what they're doing should be illegal because it's going to make authors broke. So he was terrified of what was going to happen. Why? Because all he could see is that the portion of the market that were already reading books would be able to buy books 90% less than what they did before, and that would be it. They would buy a lot less books because, hey, they only want to read 1 or 2 books a month. But what he didn't see is that because the books were 90% cheaper, it expanded the market. It grew the market massively by attracting the customers that previously were priced out. So what did they do? They grew the market by saying, hey, we understand that the vast majority of people want to read books. They want to read great books. They want to be entertained. And they're not buying books because they're currently priced out of the market. Penguin changed that, expanded the market, and changed the publishing industry. So what about property investment? Who are the property investment non-customers? So one of the things, everybody that I know wants to invest in property. Everybody, yeah? But 99% of people are like, I would invest in property. I want to invest in property if I had the money. So they believe that property investing is the exclusive playground of the rich or the super rich. But when I started working in the property investment industry, I realized that, most property investors are what I would, quote unquote, normal people. They're not mega rich. They're not super rich. So how did they do it? Yeah, this was always my number one question. What made you believe that you could? So what often happens is that these people get a lump sum of cash and it lands in their lap. So how does that happen, right? So it either happens because of inheritance or because of redundancy or because of a bonus. So those are the 3 reasons why they suddenly have this lump sum of cash in their pocket and it, handed to them on a platter, and they go, right, I could blow this on a holiday or a car or whatever, but I'm going to do something sensible with it. Yeah, so they've got this lump sum of cash. How do I invest it? They go and they get educated before they, do something stupid, because they know that a fool and his money are easily parted. So that's what puts them in this sphere of wanting to learn about how to invest in property. That's what puts them in this sphere of believing that they can. So who are the customers? The customers are the people who, have a lump sum of cash that they need to invest, or they want to invest. Or they're the people that already have a property portfolio and want to grow it. So that's a finite group of people, yeah? Who are the non-customers? The non-customers is everybody that's over the age of 25 who wants to invest in property but doesn't believe they can. These are the people who go, I would love to invest in property if I had the money. So how do you attract non-customers? You attract non-customers by making them believe that they can change their lives, by showing them that you don't need loads of money to build a property portfolio. What you need is knowledge, determination, knowledge, determination, and passion. With those three things, you can build a property portfolio at the size of your ambition, to the scale of your ambition. You don't need to start with loads of money. In fact, you don't need to start with any of your own money. But most people don't believe that. And because most people don't believe that, what do most of the training companies do? They fight over this finite group of customers. They are in this death match, this gladiatorial fight to the end. So what about the business owner market? Who are the customers? Who are the non-customers? So every year in the UK, over 600,000 new businesses start. Now, if you're anything like me, your jaw just dropped to the floor. 600,000 new businesses are started every year in the UK. That is a huge number. I never believed it was that big. But here's another shocking statistic. 60 to 90% of them fail in the first year. That's brutal. Brutal, yeah? I mean, that is, dreams crushed. So who are the non-customers and who are the customers? Because, if there's 600,000 potential entrepreneurs and business owners that need help growing their business, that means that there's a huge market out there, yeah? But who are the non-customers and who are the customers? So the customers in this market are the people who understand that the way to grow a business, or the three things that you need to have a successful business, are can you make it, can you sell it, and can you count the money? So they know they can make it. They've spent years learning how to make it, whether that's a product, a service, a consultancy, whatever it is. They've spent years getting good at what they do. So can you sell it? Well, they know that, sales and marketing is a skill you can learn. Whether they're an expert at it or not, they know that they can learn it, and they know that there are companies and people out there that can help them learn about it. And can they count the money? They've probably already got an accountant. So those are the customers. The non-customers are the huge numbers of people who are just like I was in 2005, 2006, 2007, and 2008. They're entrepreneurs, they're business owners that have an idea. They're excited about trying to change the world, about trying to grow their business. Maybe their business is growing every single year, but they don't know how and they don't know why. They don't know that it is possible that marketing can put a salesman in print and send him out to speak to 10,000 people in a single day. They don't know that marketing can make money on demand without a sales team. And they certainly don't know that there are people out there that can teach them how to do this. So that's just like I was in 2005 to 2008. I didn't know that this was possible. So those are the non-customers. And that market, that group of people is enormous. That's how, if I can speak to those people, I expand the market massively. I grow my business with ease, without any competition, because no one's going after them. So why don't people focus, so if this mass of non-customers is so big, why don't people go after them? Because the non-customers, for whatever reason, don't think your product or service is right for them. So why don't they? They either think they're priced out of the market, or they don't know your product or service exists, or if they do, they don't believe that they can do this. So I'm going to talk to you in a minute about how to attract non-customers. And the way to do it is through storytelling. And I'm going to explain to you how and why, and I'm going to reveal the secret of the $2 billion sales letter. Yes, that's right. Billion with a B. $2 billion. Guess what? This sales letter ran for 25 years. I wish I had written that. Yeah. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to write a sales letter that people can use for 25 years. Yeah. And I'm going to explain to you the secret that made the difference. Why was it able to run for so long? And why did it pull in so many customers for so long and bring in $2 billion? But first I need to tell you about the 5 levels of customer awareness. So they range from most aware to unaware. So the 5 levels of awareness are most aware, product aware, solution aware, problem aware, and unaware. So what are the most aware customers? So the most aware customers they're the people that are in your community. They're the people who have already bought a product or service from you. And they're likely to buy another one if you give them a great deal. Yeah, so those are the most aware customers. Then you've got product aware. So actually, let's go the other way. So let's start with unaware. Unaware, let's take the property investment as an example. Unaware customers are the mass of people who say, I want to invest in property if I had the money. So those are unaware. Then you've got problem aware. Problem aware are, I've been handed a lump sum of money. What do I do with it? Do I just walk into an estate agent and buy a house? Or, how do I invest in property? Is it as simple as walk into an estate agent, buy a house at the price that they say, and then rent it out? Solution aware. So the solution aware customers are customers who they have a lump sum of cash that they want to invest, and they know that there are property training companies out there. They just don't know which one is right for them. Yeah? Then you've got product aware. So product aware is someone who they want to invest in property. So they know that property is a wealth vehicle that they want to invest in. They've got the money. They know that education companies exist, and they know, for example, that you can teach them how to invest in HMOs or in single lets or serviced accommodation. And they also know that there are other companies out there that can teach them how to do the same thing. So they are comparison shopping, if you like. They're trying to find the right solution for them. And then you've got most aware, who are the people who have already bought a product or service from you, and they will happily buy again if you give them a deal, if you give them a reason why they should do it right now. So how do you attract this mass of non-customers and grow the market? How do you attract these people who do not believe that your product is right for them, or they don't even know that your product exists? Well, you do that through storytelling. You do that through telling stories that make this group of people believe that they can change their lives. You open their eyes to the possibility that they can change their lives. So as an example, let's take property investment as an example. You tell stories of people who built a property portfolio starting with none of their own money. Because once they can see that other people can do it, then they can believe that they can do it. Hey, guess what? Maybe you can tell them how they can do it. Tell them the top line of how they can do it, so they know that this is possible. Yeah? The key point here is making them believe that they can change their lives. Because once they believe they can change their lives, then you can Continue to give them information over time, nuggets of information, more stories, yeah? Some of the how to actually do this so they can start to understand the mechanics of it. They realize that this isn't some, closed world where they aren't allowed in. They're allowed in, they know how they can do it. They just need to, have that inspiration, have that drive to actually change their lives. So what's the secret of the $2 billion sales letter? So this sales letter was written by Martin Conroy, and it opens like this. On a beautiful late spring afternoon, 25 years ago, two young men graduated from the same college. They were very much alike. So it goes on to describe how they both graduated from college. They both had 3 kids. They were both married. They both went to work for a Midwestern manufacturing company. One of them was a manager of a department. The other was the CEO. What made the difference in this men's lives? And the letter goes on to explain what made the difference. So what doesn't the sales letter do? The sales letter doesn't say, I've got this great product, here's why you should buy it. What it does is open with a story. And it opens with a story that pulls in your ideal customer with invisible badges that they wear with pride. What I call an egoic label. So what are these invisible badges? Well, one of them was graduate. Another was parent, had 3 kids, yeah? Another was married. Managerial job. So these are the egoic labels. So 4 egoic labels that this sales letter uses to attract your ideal customer. Yeah, 4 badges that the people who are going to buy, as it turns out, the Wall Street Journal, wear with pride. These are the people that go, yeah, this is just like me. Hey, maybe I should, buy this letter, buy this newspaper. So the sales letter goes on to explain what made the difference in these men's lives. And it wasn't information, it was useful information. So, of course, it goes on to then explain why the Wall Street Journal gives you useful business information. Yeah. So if you want to, if you're ambitious, if you want to improve your life, then guess what? The Wall Street Journal can help you. So let's talk about your business and your future. Yeah. So what am I saying? If you want to grow your business with ease, then don't fight over the same customers as your competitors. Yeah. You've got to do what Warren Buffett said, which is observe the masses and do the opposite. And to do that, you need to attract non-customers. You need to expand the market, because when you do so, you will, you're not fighting against your competitors. You're not trying to shout louder. You're not saying, hey, I got deeper pockets than you. Yeah. You're speaking to an audience without any interference. So you're able to attract that audience much, much cheaper because no one else is going after them. Yeah. But to do that, you need to tell stories that make them believe they can change their lives. And when you do that, then you can grow your business fast without any competition. So now it's your turn. How do you go about this? So number 1, you need to identify who your non-customers are. Number 2, why aren't they buying? Is it because they think they're priced out of the market? Is it because they don't? Is it because of lack of knowledge? Or is it because of a lack of belief? They don't believe they can. Think about what it is. Think about why they're not customers and how you can overcome that problem. So if it's lack of knowledge, they don't know your product exists, and a lack of belief, they don't believe they can change their lives, tell stories that make, so number 1, how do you make them aware? You put an inspiring message in front of them. Number 2, how do you make them believe? You tell inspiring personal stories. You tell inspiring testimonials. Yeah, it's all about storytelling. If they're priced out of the market, think about how you can change the product or service. Yeah, just like Penguin Books did. They reduced the cost of books by 90% and expanded the market. So can you change your product or service to expand the market? Or do you just need to put your message in front of this massive non-customers and make them believe that they can change their lives. So that's the key message. Stories pull in non-customers into your world. Stories inspire people to change their lives. Stories make people believe that they can change their lives. So how do you tell an inspirational personal story? That is for another time. Or if you would like to know how to do that, go onto my blog. I've written a lot of posts about storytelling and about how to use a simple 5-step storytelling system. So where's my blog? My web address is rolandeva.co.uk. And if you go onto the blog, you'll be able to find it there. You can also download my free ebook, which is called How to Turn Expertise into Cash. And in there, so in that book, it tells you how to use my 5-step storytelling system, and it also tells you how to use that story to inspire people to change their lives. In other words, how to find your ideal customer and make them feel good about buying. It's as simple as that. So go to the website, download the book, or check out the blog. So I hope you've enjoyed this post. If you have, then please leave a comment below. If this can help somebody that you know, please share it with them. And until next time, carpe diem.